We are starting a journey into Dad of Boy.
Into the unknown. Into the unknown.
I'm Scraps. This is Silver.
Hi.
We are your hosts today. You're entering the Yggdrasil door.
Boo. I do like the scary door from Futurama. I haven't seen any of the reboot. I hope that there's a scary door.
I thought it was the spooky door.
I'm pretty sure it's a scary door. I think there's like 2 episodes of the scary door. There's the one. No, there's like no 3 episodes. There's the one where it's a parody of the Last Man on Earth, uh, where he's like his glasses break as he's about to read. Like it's like, oh well, I can still read big print. And his eyes fall out. He's like, yeah, oh well, I still know Braille. And then his hands fall out.
Okay, that's admittedly funny.
Yeah, the other one is the one where the person was on the airplane and saw the gremlin.
That's a classic. That's actually a reference to the
I
Twilight Zone movie that killed some people.
Yeah, and then or no. It starts out as he's at a casino. He gets hit by a car and ends up in a casino. He's like, a casino where I win? I must be in heaven. And then he wins again. It's like, a casino where I always win? I must be in hell. And it's like, no, you're actually on an airplane. And then the gremlin is tearing up the wing. And he's like, you gotta, there's something on the wing. It's like, why should we believe you? You're Hitler. And they pull up a mirror and face is changed to
Fair enough.
Hitler. And it's like,
God, who directed the Gremlins sequence? I think that was Spielberg.
I'm pretty sure it was. Wasn't that like one of his earliest things?
It was. It wasn't one of his earliest, I know that, but it was definitely early in his career. It's like a 19. The thing about like the Twilight Zone movie is that it was
1983.
1983. Yeah, it would have
Yeah.
been early in his career. You know,
Let's
before
see,
all his
what
big
is.
smash hits.
Yeah, it was before he. Oh, God. What was his first major thing?
Jaws, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. He was already a big name thing because Jaws was 1975.
Yeah,
I guess he
okay
was
then.
already. Yeah, okay.
Because part of the
I'm not,
thing about like the Twilight Zone movie was that they got together a bunch of like the biggest names in Hollywood and they all did like a little section of the movie.
interesting.
So like the
Yeah.
dude who did Trading Places did a segment where he ended up killing like a bunch of people.
Wait. Jaws not listed. Hold up.
You know, it is a fair bit more potent than when I last visited, now that you mention it.
Looks like the path continues on the other side of that geyser.
Why is it? Was he listed as a writer for Jaws then? Is that what it is? The fuck? Why is Jaws not on
Looks to be an artifact from the dwarven
his IMDb?
Great Mars Brasser, father of a few dwarves.
Oh, I didn't know Spielberg is the one that did Arachnophobia.
Getting these back.
Oh, that's fun.
In the open.
I like that movie. It terrifies me.
That's fair. Okay, there we are. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes these seals are so well hidden, and I am blind as a bat, so I've had to cheat a little.
Okay, I'm an idiot. I was looking at his producer shit, not his director shit. That's why Jaws wasn't
Unlisted.
listed, or wasn't on that list.
Oh, look, boy is climbing on his own silver.
It's certainly
Hell
possible.
yeah.
The god of war often
Now he's no longer huddled on my back.
Well, I don't recall if he ever
Oh,
appeared
he
on
directed
TTL.
an episode of Columbo.
A lot of people directed episodes of Columbo.
Columbo was a good show. I binge watched like 2 seasons of Columbo, which is a lot considering each episode is like an hour long, hour to an hour and a half. What episode did he do? Was it the first one? Oh, it was actually.
Oh, congrats to Spielberg for directing the first episode of Columbo.
Well, technically the third, but so Columbo had 2 pilots episodes that came out uh, before the show actually fully came out. The first one was Prescription Murder, and the second one was
Did you see that?
yeah, you knocked him into the water. Apparently, these what are they, fish people?
Yeah.
They can't. It's weird that they can't swim.
No, but seriously, that was like really cool of me.
Yeah.
On the rebound too.
Anthem for a Dead Man. That's the second one,
Okay.
or the second pilot. Yeah.
I will say this: video games have gotten better about sprinting.
Oh yeah.
It used to be this whole thing like way long ago, how like if you sprinted, you'd get exhausted really quickly, and then you have to stop, and the character
Yeah.
would catch their breath. And it was this whole thing. People were like, "Well, why did they do that?" Well, I'll tell you why. Because
Loading enemies.
it was related to loading.
Yeah.
Basically, the game had to constantly load in stuff, and if they
Okay.
If they let you sprint everywhere, you'd get there before things loaded.
yeah, pretty much.
But now that things are consoles and PCs are much better now than they used to be.
And they preload a lot of stuff too. Loading
Yeah,
has
that
gotten
too.
a lot better.
Yeah, I like that. Elden Ring got rid of the the only time
From here?
sprinting takes off your stamina is when you're already in combat. So you get free sprinting
Is it so
when
warm?
not in combat.
Maybe it's not that the cold hasn't made it here yet.
Check it out, I moved that wheel.
Maybe it's just
Hell
warmer
yeah.
than Svartalfheim?
It was really big.
True.
That
Oh my
Fimble
god, a
wheel
giant wheel.
always make it winter.
How big would you say it is?
Big. All right, so Prescription Murder is the first Columbo pilot, and it is
Give me a
about
second.
a
Oh.
doctor.
That's where I go. I forgot they make you do this now.
Think we can fit under the
A doctor kills his wife to be with his mistress, and makes it look like a robbery, and then disguises his mistress as his wife with a wig and putting her in clothes, and uh, they board a plane that his wife had like told their friends they were planning on going to a trip, and then they stage a very public fight where the mistress, still disguised as the wife, storms off, so that the what it looks like is that she left the plane and he went on his vacation. Then she died the night at some point during the
Oh shoot.
thing. And the way Columbo figures out what happened is the gloves. The mistress forgets to put the gloves back.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's clever.
Yeah. So they, yeah, and then ransom for a dead man is one where a woman kills her husband and hides the body and then uses
I
uh
knew there was more to this area.
uses a at the time recorded like telephone messages that you could schedule was new, you know. So what she did was she basically made it seem like her husband had been kidnapped and was being held for ransom. Uh, and then she took the ransom money and ran. Uh, and the reason why Columbo was able to figure it out was that the bag they found, he realized that it wasn't the same bag that had the ransom money in it. Because the way they were supposed to do the drop was to drop the bag of money out of a plane into the desert at a specific location.
Okay.
And yeah, so but she dropped an empty bag, and that was identical to the one with the money.
But it wasn't the same.
No, no, it was just identical. But
Okay.
Columbo was able to figure out that it was a different bag, and also where the money was.
Okay.
And those were the two pilots.
So I'm mostly familiar with Columbo because I watched, or rather, I read a comic that was a Frasier and Columbo crossover.
Oh, you know, Frasier was a spin-off of Cheers.
I know that. I watched like a 2 hour documentary video about just Frasier in Cheers.
Nice. I have Cheers on the mind because it's a very important thing in Fiona and Cake.
I've never actually seen Cheers.
I haven't either, but it's important in Fiona and Cake because like apparently Cheers is about like everyone trying going to a bar to escape from their shitty lives in the endless cycle.
Hey, Cat, those
Uh,
geysers.
you know, and that's how Fiona and Cake starts. Is the characters are stuck in a loop of just the same days, same cycles repeating over and over. And
Going to the same bar.
well, no, not the bar, but wanting to escape the cycle. You know,
Okay, fair enough.
and that's like a very real theme, like a really like that's a theme that hits close to home because yeah, no, it's not uncommon for people to
Want to change the cycles of their life. Stuck in
well
a rut.
just be like yeah, like I get complacent very easily. I enjoy or I am comfortable living in uh, a cyclical like routine. Like every week I live the same, and I that works for me. But I can very easily understand why it would drive others insane.
There we go.
I see.
That's dwarven ingenuity for you.
Back to the boat.
Craft. Fine dwarven craft straight from Orzammar.
It's hard to imagine them siding with Odin.
Well, all too often people are blinded to all but their immediate self-interest. Odin offered them safety, and defying him can be quite dangerous.
Maybe they just need a couple of gods to
Yeah,
come
he's a
along.
mafia boss.
Atreus
Yep.
is not
It'd be a shame if something would have
I was only
happened.
joking.
Something terrible happened to your lovely wife and your beautiful daughter.
Be a shame if something happened to your son.
Oh, it'd be shame if something happened to your horse, son.
It'd be a shame if something happened to your wolf son.
Also, be a
Good.
shame if something happened to your weird daughter who's half shadow person, half living human.
Limbo.
Kratos is very flexible.
Absolutely.
Yikes. This place is wrecked. And yes, I am staying alert. There are probably tons of those Grim around.
I'm exploring. Yay.
What is that? A big chest. Oh, I thought those were crabs.
Other wretches. And nothing is in my way anymore. They thought they could trick me with little crab things.
Yeah.
Alright, so... what am I looking at here?
A puzzle, I would assume.
Okay, here's the puzzle. You see these? I gotta
Yeah.
match the runes on the little spinny wheels up with this.
Alright, PBN.
Okay.
That is not one of them.
No, it is. I gotta swap to the other weapon. No, okay.
I don't think that's one.
No, that is. I have to, there,
Well,
okay.
no, that's okay.
I have to just freeze it to see what is. Okay, that's N
That's,
right there.
nope, that's not the right one though.
Oh, wrong N. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's one.
Perfect.
That's the P.
I'll deal with that one later.
Yeah. After these fish people.
Fish people.
You know what would be a really cool puzzle? If you had to like line up the runes in like perspective, like stepping in a specific place so like the shadows look like it or stuff, you know?
That's just
That'd
send you a
be-
sacrifice, Silver.
I know. I was making a joke. They were my favorite puzzle in Sinuous Sacrifice.
That's fair. A lot of people really like it too. It's like it makes sense because it's literally related to
That was the B.
oh. There we go. And now
Because it's
there's
really looking at things from a different perspective or something.
well, it's seeing meaning in things that don't have meaning.
Yeah. It so do you remember the Alice in Wonderland video game based off the Tim Burton film?
You're thinking about Alice Madness Returns, the video game.
No. No. The one based off the Tim Burton film.
The 4-player
With Johnny
co-op
Depp?
one?
With John No. There was one where it was I don't think it was co-op.
Co-op was all the rage for a while, so I would not have been surprised.
But there was the Tim Burton film, you know, with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter.
Yes, had a video game adaptation.
Yes, and each character had a gimmick power.
It's just Shrek 2.
What?
That's literally just the gameplay of hit game Shrek 2.
Well, no, it's a common thing for games with multiple characters that each character has some kind of gameplay gimmick.
I'm making a joke, Silver.
Okay, well, anywho, the Mad Hatter's was that he could. It was that perspective puzzle. Like, you remember in Sinuous Sacrifice, like when you had to make the bridge by standing on a specific place to make like the fragments of memory line up to make a bridge.
Yes.
It was like that. So in the Alice in Wonderland game, it's like if if the bridge is collapsed, then you can find like two
I just,
pillars
I'm trying to keep our options
and
open.
like get to an angle where it looks like they line up,
I'm glad we're
like
out
two
here.
pillars that still have
Starting a new round.
parts of the bridge attached.
Maybe
Try to find
just
an
ask
angle
them
where it
for
looks
more.
like they line up, and that would cause them to become a single bridge, uncollapsed. And
Admittedly, that's always a cool mechanic.
it is. Um, and every character's power was used in the fight against the Jabberwocky. If I remember correctly, for the Mad Hatter, you had to line up. You had to line up a staircase for Alice to run up in order to uh, get the height she needed to use the Snicker Snatch.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so what I did there is there's a monster that has a bunch of really rare loot, but he's too fast and digs into the ground. So what you gotta do is you gotta get under him,
Ah, so it's like a
or
crystal
rather
lizard.
behind him. It's
Like,
very clever.
yeah. I like the crystal lizards in Dark Souls.
Halfway there.
They're very
Still might
adorable.
be another chain to lower the rest
They
of the
are.
way.
I like the giant ones from Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, those are kind of cool. You spend enough time killing little lizards, and suddenly they want revenge.
Yeah, and I love that you can encounter a giant or a yeah, giant crystal lizard right in the Ashen Cemetery.
Yep, right at the start of the game.
Yep. Was there ever a boss that was a giant crystal lizard? Like a
No,
boss
there
size?
were no bosses that were crystal lizards, but they did show up regularly.
That's a huge missed opportunity. Is they really could have made one a like an actual boss.
Even bigger.
Yeah, like
Think you can uncover that guy?
you know, like King Dodongo sized.
Okay, I see
Or
what
I
I
think
gotta
you
do
need,
here.
yeah, you have to.
Oh, I think I get it. If you freeze the guy,
It's an
press
elevator.
on the wheel. Nice.
Boom! What a clever boy am I.
Can you see anything from that block?
I think you probably should have.
Flip back. Freeze that.
Yeah,
There we go.
I like that. That's like the Majora's Mask Water Temple.
That's one of Cavassia's poems. Very highbrow. You should collect any others you find.
You know what my favorite collectibles in a video game was?
What is it?
The shanties in Black Flag.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah. Because they have they're completely optional, and the only thing to do is add more music to listen to when you're sailing.
Which is
I
great because
like
you
that.
love sailing in that game.
Oh, absolutely. Sailing is really fun. Black Flag was like
Giant stuff, and
the best Assassin's Creed.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on Skull and Crossbones?
Haven't played it.
It's not out.
I don't have enough information on it to make a valid opinion.
It's basically a spin-off of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag variety. That's just a full-fledged pirate game of its own now.
I want to be hopeful, but it is also Ubisoft, I'm assuming.
I want to emphasize that it has been in development since Assassin's Creed Unity hit shelves.
I don't know how long ago that
Monsters
was.
and smell here are worse because of Fimbulwinter.
Assassin's Creed Unity came at the start of the PS4 generation. It has been in development for an entire generation.
All right.
So take that as you will. It has been in development
Well,
for like
you
over
have,
8 years.
you have to remember, Cyberpunk was also in development for a long time.
Wow. Now this looks like a city.
Welcome
Oh.
to Nidavellir, brothers.
Look at that dwarf. He's running. I can call them dwarves, right?
Hey, dwarves.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
the mythological
running away.
dwarves.
Fair enough. Figured I'd ask.
Um,
Don't be sounding alarmed.
but yeah, I
Oh,
would
did you see that? Did you see that dwarf who spat at us?
From it.
no.
Who held that for us though?
They are scared.
Okay,
Yeah,
that dwarf who's waddling away, was spitting at us.
Neat. I would hope that Skull and Crossbones, you said it was called.
Skull and crossbones, yeah.
Stay
I would hope that it's good, but I don't have the hopes aren't high.
Hopes are not high. Everybody who's done
It's
it, who's played the
Ubisoft.
demo, has said it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's unfortunately what I expect. Ubisoft is has a reputation.
Which is sad because they made Rayman Origins, which is a legitimately good game.
And they made Uno,
No help,
the
thanks,
video
brother.
game.
Best we find the tavern
That's
somewhere
crazy.
mentioned on our own.
And Monopoly, the
Let me
video game.
in!
Man, if only you could jump.
Curtis used to be the best at jumping.
He skipped leg day.
I took an arrow to the knee, son.
Um,
Is that a statue of Odin?
God.
It's really lovely.
Oh, the
I,
statue of Odin.
Oh, neat. So video game companies
Hello. I've returned.
seem to regularly forget
I've got something.
that it takes a lifetime to build trust and a moment to break it.
Thank you.
Constant.
A moment to lose it.
All right, we got a cutscene with Sindri, my man.
Hell yeah, Sindri.
What is it, dwarf?
You know, I'm glad I came back here at least once before Ragnarok. Oh, if these cobblestones could talk. Then they'd have mouths. Filthy, disgusting mouths. Do you mind if I feed you?
God, I love Sindri.
He's my favorite.
Absolutely. He just has the best dialogue.
How long would it do for a replacement?
Shane, this is the last time he's visiting Svartalheim. Before Ragnarok, of course.
Sonic vibrations has been something I've been meaning to try for quite some time.
I'm messing with you. He's fine.
Thanks for finally trying it. What's it gonna be this time?
Patience. I find it's best to see these things.
Is it gonna break? Ooh. I'm assuming now you can destroy those green barriers I saw in the background.
Yep.
But before you loose, say Skialf.
Yelfa?
Skelfa.
Dialpha. Ah!
Well, I certainly didn't expect you to disturb half the creepy crawlies in Nidavellir.
How was I supposed to know they were there?
Oh god, I love boys fighting animation.
Oh, they're great.
Oh yeah.
All the animations in this game are just perfect.
Yeah.
So, Derlin,
Now you can destroy those turtle shells.
any idea where the tavern is?
I'm gonna grab a resurrection stone real
Have
quick.
ever been to a filthy tavern? The sewer you just punched a hole through seems promising, though.
Okay, I'll get there a second. I want to get the other thing first.
Well, yeah. You gotta clear out the
The
all the
old
collectibles.
collectibles where you can go for the new ones.
Yeah. Or else you'll forget.
Yep.
So
Author of Cavassia's poems.
yeah, a lot of game companies have really been dropping the ball and losing all trust. You know, with
With consumers, especially Bethesda lately.
I was gonna say Unity.
Unity for sure, but like,
Yeah, Bethesda,
can
Blizzard.
I? No.
You know, the three Bs.
That's fair.
Blizzard, BioWare, Bethesda.
Lockdown really is because of us? Oh my, yes. Odin's
Come on.
this realm is so firm.
No, that's not the puzzle? Okay.
It's, the source of the water is probably further up. For a moment, I thought he just smacked his face into it, into the chest.
Okay, so there's actually nothing there. I thought there was for a second. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, because it looked like if you
Oh,
stopped the
there we
water
go.
wheel, you could use it. All right,
That's a raven down.
you killed 2 ravens. Odin has no more.
2 ravens with 1
Why
axe.
he is considered a threat. Is that to protect the dwarfs?
It sounds like it. But knowing Odin, there's sure to be an ulterior motive.
Well,
Okay, this is the worst area in the entire game as far as I'm concerned, and I'll explain in a bit.
Hooks in deep.
Ugh.
but there aren't any guards patrolling. Blair's clearly not a threat. Why hide?
Is this and you made an example of? To keep the rest
Okay,
of
so
the
this
line?
area is fine right now. I mean, it's a good look at the area.
Even the strongest
Look at that, it's so pretty.
Fear keeps them safe
Yeah.
and alive.
Tavern's gotta be around here
Alright,
somewhere. Maybe we can try knocking on some doors for directions.
so... You see this area right here? Very obvious little hidey thing that you can sneak into.
Just keep moving.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to run from something all through the area.
Fucker.
So season 2 of Castlevania Nocturne was confirmed to be.
Oh, that's good to
Coming.
hear.
Yeah, did you finish Castlevania Nocturne?
No, I've 1 episode left.
from the chief
Oh,
anti-
you need to finish it.
rebellion. Quite a sharp wit.
Admittedly, its
Subtle means of resistance.
opening
Once the
episodes are
action-
not great.
Yeah, no, it has some serious pacing issues, but I think that like the halfway point, it's significantly huge step up and back on par with the original Castlevania series.
That's fair.
A main issue is how they
They get the
how
game
they
together really quick.
I mean, yes, but I think it's more that. So with Castlevania, like the first half of the first half of season 1 is being introduced to the characters one by one. The first episode was meeting Dracula. You know, it was his episode, his origin.
It's all about Drac.
Yeah. Episode 2 was all about Trevor. Episode 3 was about Sifa, and episode 4 was about Alucard. And so, by the halfway point of season 1, we had a good understanding of who these characters were.
To be fair, Alucard kind of comes in at the latter half of episode 4, but it's a very strong introduction.
Yes.
Okay,
It
so I'll
still
explain what's
it
going on.
dedicates it still dedicates a considerable amount of time to establish each character.
Okay, so I'll explain what's going on. You see that
Yeah.
little hidey hole?
Yeah.
That brings you in a loop all the way through there.
Okay, so it's impossible space.
Yeah, it basically brings you in a little loop all the way here. It's not impossible space.
Oh, it's
The
just a long tunnel.
Yeah, you come out here, if you will. Now you
Okay.
may be wondering, where do I progress? Where do I go?
Is it up those green gems on the roof of that building?
No, it's right here in this back alley. Most people miss.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, it's. I've watched several people do playthroughs, and I have consistently noticed that this is the area where they get confused. So that's sort of something I figured I'd point out while I'm here.
Yeah.
The way
So,
forward is the out of place back alley.
Promising, right?
yeah.
That's like a house.
So, Castlevania Nocturne,
You.
like
we don't
It
most
kind
of
of
the characters,
introduces all the main cast on like one episode, and then they just fight for space for the rest of it.
None taken.
yeah, the first like by episode 2, all the important characters are established, and they just kind of meander around
Oh, guess who
until
this is?
the halfway point. Is that a hurdy-gurdy?
Yes.
Fuck yeah!
More importantly, this character is voiced by the lead musician for the game, Bear McCreary.
Hmm.
At least I believe. I think so. We need to check again, but like last I checked, it was.
Hello?
Watch yourselves. Apparently, there are intruders about.
Oh, that's us, I think.
Well, if you're planning on killing me, at least let me finish this song. That alarm was in
This
just
guy's
We're
audacity.
just looking for a friend of ours named Derlin.
Well, we both know that's not true.
Immediately kills the mood.
Got no friends left. But if that's all you need, head out the back way there. You'll see the safety office just across the river. Just don't go making trouble for the rest of us. And while you travel through this realm, maybe you could clean up the head's mess.
What mess?
Later, brother.
I wish to hear this mess.
The rig's in the bay. Why don't you ask the condescending skull?
Head, I've got skin. But he's right. I made a mistake. I'd have us shut them down.
All right, we got a side quest.
Fuck yeah. What? So no head?
So,
Oh.
one more
That's still one of my favorite memes.
given to you, so I shouldn't be sorry and you should be thankful. Anyways, here, please be careful.
It's beautiful. Thanks, Sindri.
It is beautiful, isn't it? It's also very useful. You'll be able to find anything your heart desires with it.
Really?
As long as your
It's a
heart
compass.
desires the locations your father and you decide and plot to travel together, then yes.
It is a compass.
Oh, it's a waypoint.
But a beautiful compass. Now scamper off.
It vibrates the controller ever so slightly while you're holding it.
Interesting gimmick.
I just wanted to make it clear that that's what was going on. The path. In service of Asgard.
The
So yeah, we're just gonna track the side quest.
hell yeah.
Oh no, it's gonna make me do that first. Okay.
Well, that's fair.
Oh no, it's making me go through all the things. Hate when they do
That's
that.
the tutorial.
There we go.
Come. A boat cannot.
Yeah, so the blue icons are favors, and the yellow icon is the story mode.
Earlier, Sindri made it sound like Derlin was some sort of alien leader. Doesn't sound like anyone's following him.
Was being the key word here, little brother.
Yeah, so no head is one of my favorite memes. The context is a person. It's a screenshot of a text conversation. One of the text is like a long, like
I saw a dock back there.
rant
Maybe
about something. I don't know what it is because I'm pretty sure it's blurred out. And then the response is, "What? So no head?"
Okay, that is a little funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing of value in here. Mystic
Except for
Gateway.
fast travel. Oh, yeah,
All
boat.
right. So we're gonna do the side quest.
Maybe we should head that way.
That'll be our primary goal right now. One, because it's a good side quest, and two,
Those bloody
because you need to see where the side quest goes.
The Skald is right to blame me.
Yeah, I'm down.
They were my idea. If you've got the time, they're in the bay just beyond this tunnel.
Okay, we're like 40 minutes into the stream.
So we're like halfway through.
Nah, not really. We're gonna go for 2 hours minimum.
Okay.
I'd particularly appreciate us checking out the mining rigs in the lake to the right. You can see the smokestacks from here.
Bay of Bounty.
But if you don't want to explore now, it looks like Derlin's place is
And-
through that open gate to the left.
Can't believe that.
Yeah, they kind of section off the way forward and the
So which way to go?
additionals.
We could prepare more before rescuing Tyr. Up to you.
The fuck is that? Like a fruit?
Oh, it's a collectible from the first game. It's due from Yggdrasil.
Right.
All right.
Mimir, were you really the one who had those rigs built?
Odin wanted the dwarves under his control, and, well, I convinced him he could buy their allegiance instead of demanding it outright. A trade agreement of sorts.
All right, so we're gonna head here first.
So I figured out why I was having so much difficulty in Baldur's Gate in my druid playthrough. And it's because I'm actively refusing to use any of the tadpoles or any of the stuff they give. I finished Act 2 of Baldur's Gate on Friday, and so I'm decided to start up another file and play as a bard.
Okay.
And my bard is going all in on pretty much every bad decision.
It's still here.
What?
The island near the geyser. We need to get the key
You
from it
know.
and unlock this door. I need to set right a very old wrong.
All right, island near the geyser.
Anyone needs Roger holes? We've got to clear out all the
Oh, fucker, I forgot this bitch is here.
The hateful. Such a
Boy,
generic
help me
name.
out here, real quick.
It will pass.
Man. Kratos is on fire today. I do like molten themed enemies.
Well, this
Start
one's
to get-
obnoxious.
That's fair. This Kratos on fire.
Thankfully, I'm on what is essentially easy mode, so...
Imagine if you died. So, if your body had like molten insides,
That would probably hurt.
do you think you'd be able to fry an egg on it?
Yeah, probably. Crack an egg up on me. Yeah, you could probably manage it.
Yeah. Toss some bacon on there as well.
All right, where's that sucker? Fuck. Okay, it makes a round around the. Come out, birdie. There he
Man,
is. Okay, I'm just gonna wait here.
am excited because in a couple weeks.
Okay, I'm just gonna give up on Odin's Raven right now. We'll deal with him later.
That's fair. I'm excited for Mario Wonder.
Oh, yeah, I've heard very good things about that.
Uh, I'm I am avoiding anything other than what was stated in the
That's fair. And by that I
so,
mean literally just the press conferences. I don't have any more
okay.
info than you do.
Okay. But I like the art direction. Um and
What do I want to equip? Okay, actually, I just realized I have not equipped anything yet.
I do wish Yoshi wasn't just an outright easy mode.
He always will be. They'll never give him a chance of anything else.
He hasn't had like his own role since Mario 64 DS.
in the bay. Could you bring me any slag you find?
I'm not a fan of the modern Yoshi design. I like the classic Yoshi design more, where he was more dinosaur-like. You know, he was a little bit hunched over,
A
had a
little
longer
more
neck.
Yoshi rather than
Losu!
yep.
Yeah, but now
Dang it.
he's just a guy now. He went from dinosaur to dude. And I think it's either Mario Sunshine or Mario 64 DS that uh
That was
had
the
the
straw in that change.
well the main change because before that like he was more dinosaur like in Mario 64 he was still what is considered classic Yoshi. Oh, no, behind you! Look
Okay,
out!
give me a second.
I gave you a second.
That's fair.
Behind you, look out!
God, you know what I think was a really good twist in pretty much all media?
Which one specifically?
Uh, in Trek Forever After, the twist that the day that Rumpel took was the day Shrek was born.
Okay.
It's a mid-movie twist. I guess it's an Act 1 twist.
Yeah,
Would you
after
consider...
that, the stakes rise drastically.
Yeah, like,
Bits up in the process.
you know, it's like, oh, it's just one day. It's a day from when you were a baby. You won't even remember it. It was like, all right, that sounds good. And then he, after a while, learns that the day that was taken was the day he was born, so he was never born. And I really, really like the reveal because that's like a huge, like, oh shit moment.
I talked them into their own exploitation.
They made their choice.
Work or die is not a choice. I only made it seem so. What you just picked up there is pure sparkle fine ore. It won't be of use in the rig anymore, but perhaps our Huldra brothers could craft something from it.
I do like hanging pots of flammable stuff in video games.
Oh, it's a very fun trope.
Yeah. Like in
There we
Breath of the
go.
Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
There's a bird I can kill. Hmm. There we go. I knew I was forgetting something in this area. Boom.
What's your favorite color for fire?
I really like I do like blue fire. Not gonna lie, that's pretty good.
I like green fire.
Okay, give me a second.
I think green is a really good color for fire. Green fire just like
Green's
looks
very spooky.
evil. Yeah. Like green looks outright evil. And I think it's because it's the
It's
complementary
sickly.
color of
Is it always moral to kill the dead?
of red. Like fire is normally red and green is on the other side of the spectrum from red.
There you have it, lad.
Was it on screen or off screen that we were talking about Ron Perlman and Tom Kenny and all that?
It was I believe it was off stream.
Alright. I was just thinking about that again because the Lich in Adventure Time has green fire for eyes.
Maleficent has green fire going around.
Oh, absolutely.
These things down? Well, the dwarves become independent?
It's a really good color for evil fire. I'm actually having trouble thinking of a time when green fire was good.
There's another mining rig on this island, brother. Smell that smoke?
Why would the dwarves
Couldn't tell you.
for the Ace here in the first place?
You know, a good character arc.
Lied to them.
On
Oh,
a side
this,
note, have you noticed Mimir's little backstory going on here?
The dwarves didn't like
Yeah, he's talking about how he
just quit.
Have you screwed over the dwarves?
Their
Yeah.
new-built forges poisoned the soil of Svartalfheim. Unable to grow their own food, they had to buy it from Asgard. If they stopped working, they'd be taking food out of
The
their
Oh,
I think Azula had a really good character arc.
Oh, in that it was not really an arc so much as collapsing in on herself and refusing to
No, no.
acknowledge it.
A negative character arc is still a character arc.
That's fair.
Not every character arc has to be someone getting better.
Oh, absolutely not.
I actually like character arcs where someone gets worse.
to that combat arena we visited years ago?
Got any other examples?
Wishful
Of negative character arcs,
Crusader's Gauntlet.
does the brother count in Secret of Nim 2?
No, that's hypnosis.
Anyway, we should look
Okay.
The obvious answer is Walter fucking White, by the way.
see where it leads.
No, he was. He was always
To make it across.
an asshole.
Oh, he always had issues, but a lot of those issues get like dragged more out. You know?
Yeah. So,
Fucker.
I find it really interesting that Breaking Bad is the closest we'll ever get to an accurate Jekyll and Hyde adaptation.
What?
'Cause-
Not Hyde or Jekyll by Stephen Moffat?
God. So in the original book, Jekyll and Hyde were not two different people. Like they weren't two different personalities. They were just two different faces. And it was a situation where when he was wearing the face of Hyde, he could actually do the things uh he wanted to do without fear of damaging his reputation as Jekyll. Um, and it's basically turning on the mask of anonymity. You know how like uh, people will say the most heinous shit on the internet if they think no one will know that it's them. That's basically what it was. And with Breaking Bad, the Heisenberg personality is not a separate personality. That's just him going mask off,
Fair.
and that's what Jekyll and Hyde was. Basically, the true self versus the like who you are uh, when you don't have to face the consequences versus who you present yourself to be when people are watching.
I mean, he still gets worse. Not. Let's not lie. He does draw some lines that he immediately breaks later.
Okay, yes, yeah, he does get worse. That is a very
Yeah. So there is development.
yeah. I
It's
will say it is a negative character development. It's just not as drastic as Azula's because with Walter White, it's more like just going mask off, and because he always had the capacity to do that, like to do the horrible shit. Um,
yeah. Kratos isn't too stealth.
You okay, Mimir?
To the blacksmiths of Svartalfheim, the creation of a weapon was a sacred thing. But Odin just wanted as many blades as he could get, as fast as he could get them.
I do like that.
Stolen resource, a mediocre
When you
blade.
throw your axe into the thing, you actually do have to recall it like you normally would.
it's a nice detail.
Yeah. Look at these vistas.
Oh yeah, the game's beautiful.
I haven't seen vistas this good since the 2008 Prince of Persia game.
Yeah,
Also, side note, favorite trope, visible spinning wheels behind cracks and stuff.
absolutely. I am a slut for Clockwork.
Well, I know he's a great villain in Sly Cooper, but you don't have to go that far.
But yeah, no, Clockpunk I think is better than Steampunk. You know, with Steampunk and Clockwork automatons, I really think there's a huge missed opportunity uh, with a lot of interpretations of them, because you know what will be the best way to present it, in my opinion,
What would that way be?
with punch card programming.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's very fitting.
I mean, yeah, but when you say it out loud, yeah, obviously it's brilliant.
But like too many things with like Clockwork and Steampunk settings, and Dieselpunk for that matter, uh, they they don't even go into like the store, like the program, this programming storage. You know, they don't go into like how does it know how to think, and the best answer would be they have punch cards that do the thinking, that give them the ability to think.
Whoa, what?
Because, you know, that's a thing that actually existed before complex computers.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
The key to that watchtower door should be on this island somewhere.
Weren't like the earliest computer programmers, like professional knitters, people that knit stuff,
I would not be
because
surprised.
because they knew how to do like complex patterns and shit.
Makes sense.
God, do you
There
remember
we
that?
are.
Do
Boom.
you remember Wanted?
That was a very okay movie.
Yeah, it was an okay movie. It was more silly in ways they did not intend. Uh, Morgan Freeman's always great.
It's a very mid video game.
It had a video game?
Yeah, Wanted Weapons of Fate.
Oh god, that's this like such a generic video game title.
Okay, do you want to know who made it?
Oh god, it's either gonna be someone I don't know or someone I am going to be disappointed to find out that they were involved in any ways, isn't it?
Do you remember the Bionic Commando game in which his wife is his arm?
Yeah,
That company was Grin, and they made Wanted Weapons of Fate.
I can say that Bionic Commando is probably better.
Yeah, probably.
Because I hear people still talking about Bionic Commando. This was the first time I heard about a Wanted video game.
Oh yeah, they made Wanted, and then they basically made Bionic Commando. They made like 3 games in like 2 years.
The ground looks
And then they were never heard of again.
back
You
here.
know what my favorite, like, weird, like, developer, trivia, like, something you say is like, you're like, oh, did you know these people made this game? And like, really? You know what my favorite is?
What?
Bethesda made Home Alone 2 for the NES, SNES. I think NES.
You know what? When you say it out loud,
Or-
that sounds like them.
Yeah. It was before they were, you know, it was before their golden years and well before their fall.
Easier to break that ground from up there.
God. You know what is a huge death knell for
Starfield?
Bethesda? And do you know why I know Starfield's probably not that good and is mid at best?
Because you haven't heard shit about it?
Exactly. I haven't heard anything about it. The only thing I know about it is that it has a sandwich with 70,000 polygons.
Oh.
I haven't seen any funny glitches. I haven't heard anyone talking about its story.
You know what I've heard more people talk about?
The pronouns.
Yes. That's,
Yeah.
That's probably not a good sign.
Yeah, the only other than the sandwich, the only thing I know about is that that one dipshit had a meltdown over pronouns, and then when he made a video to address the meltdown video, he was like, no, it's taken completely out of context.
What context? You literally...
No, it's even dumber. Like, you're taking it out of context. It wasn't as bad as just like, here's my actual live reaction when I was playing it hours before I made that video. And then he shares a clip from his VOD where as soon as he sees pronouns, he has a meltdown. That is not as loud as the one that got famous, but still pretty absurd, which only makes him look even worse because that means he saw it, got mad, then time passed, and he got even angrier. That only makes him look worse.
Okay, we have a choice. Do you want to finish off the current mission and then open up the Weight of Chains, or do you want to go right back for Weight of Chains?
Current mission. Let's get the final smokestack
Yeah, fair
cleared.
enough.
Ymir,
Enough. We will continue later.
smell the smoke? There's another mining rig here.
You speak of your deeds with shame. Do you regret not allowing Odin to kill them?
I don't.
There's like so
Yeah.
many ravens here, it's not even funny.
It's almost like Odin just has a vested interest in keeping an eye on all the factories.
Gantry.
Thanks.
Oh, so I got Lies of P.
Yes, we talked about this.
Oh, I didn't know if we talked about it on call or not.
I
I
think
did-
we did.
Okay, I don't remember if I got it before or after.
I think you had it for last week.
Let a spark
Okay.
blades would cause quite
I haven't really touched it since because I went back to Baldur's Gate.
That's fair.
I am one girl. I only have the two hands. I can't play multiple things at the same time.
Imagine if you had multiple limbs. That'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be hot, but terrifying.
The I do like the aesthetic of Lies of P. I do think from what I've seen, it definitely seems more clockpunk than steampunk, which is good for me because that's what I prefer.
Fair enough.
I really don't like the the people who just glue gears on a top hat and call it steampunk because that's not
Yeah.
at all.
You gotta throw in a gas pipe. It has to produce something.
Yeah. And also like there's people use it as an umbrella term when it's really not that much of an umbrella term, and people will get like, you know what the best clock punk watch I have seen was? It's the one that was like a small chalkboard and it had an arm that actually wrote down the time every 5 minutes and had an eraser arm to erase the time so it could rewrite it every like 5 minutes. It was an actual functioning timekeeping device. That is like way better than people who just like uh spray paint
Bricks off
a,
themselves.
a Pip Boy bronze.
the Einherjar made examples of them.
They killed the dwarves? Can you have convinced them not to?
Aye.
In case you're curious, yes, I did fuck up.
I didn't know. I figured you had your reasons for going to this place.
What I should have done, in case you're curious, is you see that little hook up there? I'm supposed to bring that down, not up.
Rippy and Pippy.
Oh well.
Was that a statue?
That should help.
Yeah, a bunch of enemy corpses
Impressive.
made of stone.
Yeah. Man, I wish FromSoft would bring back ragdoll corpses. Because they got rid of them in Dark Souls 2. But they were fun in Dark Souls 1. We pushed a snake person down a trash chute. Remember that?
Yes.
In Sin's Fortress.
Since Fortress is very fortressy and very busy.
Yeah.
Let me readjust. There we go. What's that Kratos guy doing? We may never know.
I still need to watch the Boss Keys Banjo Kazooie episode you sent me.
It basically says a lot of the things that you've said in the past.
Oh, about the spokes?
Yes.
Like,
I think we can reach it there.
is it Banjo Kazooie or Banjo Tooie?
It's both of them, actually.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Boss Keys is a really good series.
Oh, the dude has, like, all sorts of, like, input to give. He's great at it.
Oh yeah,
Wasn't so hard.
because it definitely brings attention to things that I never even thought about in terms of like dungeon layouts and stuff. Uh, and if I ever made a video game, I would absolutely use some of his advice.
That's fair.
I
I
know
think the main
people.
thing I take away from a lot of his stuff is that it's important to layer problems in video games.
The my main takeaway is that it's good to have a mix of both complicated dungeons and simple like it's good to have dungeons that where you're going to have a lot of keys at the same time and dungeons where you'll only ever have like one key at a time because it and it depends on like what the philosophy of the dungeon is. So like I know people give the Shadow Temple flack for being extremely simple in Ocarina of Time, but the thing is it's not meant to be complicated. It's meant to be a gauntlet. It's meant to be a point A to point B dungeon where there's a lot of shit that will try to kill you. Uh, and coming off the heels of the Water Temple, uh, it's nice and refreshing.
Flag we collected could be of considerable use in the hands of Brock or Sindri.
I like the Water Temple though.
That's fair.
I think my least favorite Ocarina dungeon is the Fire Temple.
I had a feeling that would be the one.
I'm pretty sure I said it when we played Ocarina.
Probably.
I made a conscious choice in Ocarina to do the Water Temple before the Fire Temple, and that made it seem like complete the volcano erupting after the Fire Temple's completion is what set Kakariko on fire.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good loot.
Because what I did was after beating the Fire Temple, I then warped to uh, the Temple of Light, and they're like, "Oh wait, I need to get the Song of Storms. Let me go back to Kakariko. Oh no, it's on fire." Uh, I do want to revisit Ocarina and
Majora's
Majora's
Mask.
Mask. Yeah, because those were some of our earliest ones. because that was like 2019.
We had that guest star, didn't we?
Yes, we had Imbleto in for a couple episodes of Majora's Mask.
He was a nice
He
guy.
yeah, he's a musician who is working on a Majora's Mask opera. Um,
Is that still ongoing, or is that done yet?
yeah, he's still working on it.
Okay.
Found out in stories?
He wants to get it like
Not now.
Just perfect.
he wants to get it perfect, and what his plan is, because it has to be completed in order to pitch it,
What can I
That's
make?
fair.
or else like things have to be done in order to pitch. You can't. Who was that person that had like what was it, a show where they went to a pitch meeting with just like
What happened to all the armor we made already?
loose storyboards and
Maybe try to make
scripts?
this one last longer.
I will not.
Doesn't ring any bell.
Oh, I don't remember, but it was
Huh.
in this day and age you need a completed product when you're pitching to get any kind of funding.
I'll disinfect my tools.
And he's got to pitch it to Nintendo, which is going to be a huge uphill battle.
Oh, of course.
He did state that if it is rejected by Nintendo, like if Nintendo rejects it as like a full production, what he's just gonna post it for free with no monetization to you know still have it be out there uh without infringing on.
Copyright.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
That's fair.
I
because
heard a
as
voice.
long as he doesn't make money from it, it's fair use. Like it's
Just put the
perfectly
blades to
fine.
work, brother.
That's why fanfiction.net, or no, not fanfiction. That's why AO3 has rules against fanfiction commissions, because if people are profiting off fanfictions posted on their site, then that opens up a huge can of worms for legal
All
issues.
right, you ready?
No, but let's go ahead. Oh, gee. I wonder if that might cause something weird. Like perhaps a giant snake under the
So
water.
that's the voice I heard.
I'd hoped it would have escaped by now.
Oh, that's not a snake.
We'll need to free it from its restraints.
It's not a snake, but it's close.
I love islands being on the backs of creatures.
Oh my god. I love the tales of Sinbad.
I still need to watch Sinbad.
The movie?
Yeah,
Which one? There's like 10 dozen of them.
the DreamWorks one.
That's a good one. Um,
Is this?
I read the original Fable.
Walker. I captured it 50 years ago.
Rodin.
Yes. I thought it an emergency.
Okay,
I
so
think
where am I going?
the best animal to have an island on its back is a turtle.
Ah, the Aladdin treatment.
This creature.
Well, that was a city, and
Aye.
wasn't the turtle like
Why?
a
Because
statue or something? I don't remember.
That
It's
was
been a
an
long
actual
time.
turtle.
and I didn't know what
Ah,
it was
okay.
like to be chained in one place for
You
years.
can tell
Um,
because its eyes shrink when the genie messes with it.
Pain.
I don't remember because it's been. Last time I binge watched that trilogy was like 2018,
That's
2017.
fair.
Um. Oh god, you remember the giant torteras in Detective
Oh,
Pikachu?
I love that scene, yeah.
Yeah, they looked so fucking good.
That entire movie looked really good.
Oh yeah, Detective Pikachu's great.
I think that without Detective Pikachu and its success, I do not believe Paramount would
Mario
have
or
changed
Sonic.
the Sonic design.
Yeah, I Detective Pikachu definitely was a huge milestone in ending the video game adaptation curse. Because video game or movie adaptations of video games uh, were pretty much uh,
I
Right.
thought the Prince of Persia
Maybe
film was
nothing
pretty
to.
okay.
If you could.
yeah, but that's like
Easy.
an exception.
True, and it's only just okay.
Yeah, like you have to remember that came out when there were things like the Tomb Raider movie with Angelina Jolie,
No, it came out
and
2012.
wait, didn't the Tomb Raider movie come out like
Early
around
2000s?
Tomb Raider? The Tomb Raider movie was not early 2000s.
Absolutely was.
I'm looking this
Thank
up.
me, aren't you, brother?
I remember
Holy shit, 2001?
do not wish it upon another.
Although this
If
is, I love this entire scene because it's like great for Kratos and Mimir's relationship.
oh yeah,
When you learned the
it's really nice for Kratos to have company that's not Athena.
Yeah, and it's like this is great for their relationship because it's like this is Mimir doing the thing that Kratos hates the most. This
Yeah,
entire island, this animal with all this crap on its back, this is Mimir's doing.
yeah,
And he did this to impress Odin. And I think that's like the most interesting thing. Like Mimir basically enslaved another creature and took away its freedom just to impress a guy. Not because Odin told him to, but because he wanted Odin's attention.
oh yeah, so, yeah.
source of all
Kratos would definitely see himself in that kind of thing.
He
You
even
know,
had a
with his
great line for
relationship
it.
with Ares.
I have felt the yoke of a chain around my neck. I would not wish it on others.
It's nothing to what I
Yeah.
think to myself.
And I love how Mimir is resentful of himself. How he's like, yeah, this was a mistake.
Mimir is basically the Norse Kratos in this series. Do you think
If you could,
do you think after do
just the
you
tale.
think they're going to go to Egypt at some point?
They went there in the comics, actually.
I mean like in a game. Like do you think it's going to be 3 games uh in Scandinavia and then 3 games in Egypt? That way they can fulfill the original ending.
Maybe.
Was hiding some sort of device.
Well, actually, it's only 2 games in Scandinavia. We already know this.
Oh, there's not going to be a third?
Yeah, this is the last one. It's a duology, not a trilogy.
Oh, maybe Egypt will only be 1 game then.
Depends. Basically, Santa Monica admits that this is not a reasonable way of making a game.
That's fair.
Okay.
For those who don't know, the original ending was going to be of the 3rd game.
Okay, so this is weird. Everybody has their own personal different ending. Corey
Okay,
Balrog has a different ending from Ed, from um, from the
were you gonna
who's
say
the
Ed
guy who made
Boon?
Twisted Metal?
Dale,
Oh,
get back to the boat.
David
fuck.
Jaffe.
Yeah, the guy that sucks at Metroid Dread.
Yeah, so David Jaffe had his own ending, and Corey Balrog has his own ending, and everybody had their own endings. So it was basically just a bunch of guys in a room arguing over whose ending was the best.
Yeah. I One of the endings was that he was going to go to Scandinavia, recruit the Norse Kratos, and kill the Norse pantheon, and then they were going to go to Egypt with recruit the Egyptian Kratos and kill the Egyptian pantheon, and then and pave the way for monotheism and go to Jerusalem to be the 3 wise men.
Fair enough. David Jaffe's ending was just to have Kratos become Thanos. Thanatos. God, I literally left out the toast part. It was
Yeah, no. Thanatos is a very different person.
very very different entity for than Mister Snap My Fingers.
Well, to be fair, at the time that the God of War trilogy was happening, Thanos was a more reasonable character because the MCU hadn't gotten to him yet.
Fair enough.
Uh,
I,
in
I
the
I liked Thanos in the movies. I know you have different opinions. You think he comes off as really stupid. I think yeah, he does come off as stupid, but that doesn't make him any less intimidating.
uh,
You would still say that.
yeah, I think that
I know what it is to be imprisoned like this. I can't just
I
leave.
think he lost the intimidation factor
I don't understand.
after a
Please
point.
continue.
Admittedly, by the time he was basically the protagonist of his own story, he kind of just becomes a sad old man. But like, I get it. Um, Personally, I see it as him being a zealot, which honestly I find more intimidating than like somebody who actually did all the math and numbers. Like the whole calculating genius is fine and all, but like the I believe in something so hard even when like it's wrong or like it's blatantly a bad idea can be just as intimidating, if not more.
I just feel like his motivations are not congruent with the type of character that he had been presented as. Like
Well, to
he,
be fair,
he
that's kind of the the trick. They make him look cold and calculating, and then they pull the rug to show what he really is. Because beforehand, what do we actually see of Thanos in the previous films? We just
well,
see
we
like
saw him.
James Gunn's interpretation of him, where he goes, "I'll do it myself."
Well, no, we also saw that he was the one that orchestrated the attack on Earth, and he was the one that funded the warlords from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like he was doing shit and actually doing seriously awful, heinous shit in the universe, and so he was
Okay, give me a second. Someone's knocking on my door.
okay. Become you. When does a candle become a flame? When does a man become a monster?
All right, I'm alive again.
I never thought it'd be so simple, but I found a way.
Found a
Found a
way.
way. I was listening to a bunch of old theme songs over the week.
Okay, theme songs are good.
Yeah, for reasons. Instead, I would just listen to the iCarly one Uh,
That's fair.
shit, I still need to see the Gibby pilot.
Oh, I haven't even seen that yet.
So, the Gibby pilot was finally found. Um, I personally thought that we'd only ever just have the script and the stills, a handful of stills. Uh, but the actual full pilot has been discovered and was posted on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was a big deal.
It is a big deal. It
Lost
happened
media is
on
always
Friday.
great.
Yeah, and found media is even better.
His tail must be chewed as well. Sliding down that rope should take us where we need to go. There. You're free.
He's free now.
What's going on? Maybe it needs a little encouragement. Can you get me closer to its eye for a face-to-face, Bubba?
I do like Kratos and Mimir's relationship.
Oh, it's great. They really do feel like two dads dealing with their rebellious son.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we can do anything with that yet.
that's a secret tool for later.
Stuff like that makes me hate this place. This is like the place for like all the stuff that you have to go back and collect.
The mining rig.
Oh, it's Backtrack Central.
Yeah.
It's Odin's fault.
I
I mean,
hate
it's
that.
like
An excuse, little
not story mandated, but it's like all the neat collectibles are here.
You know what has the worst collectible cleanup?
What?
Metroid Zero mission, and that's because you get the power bombs literally right before the final boss,
Oh, here we go.
and so that means you have to go back through the entire map just to get all the power bomb collectibles, and it's annoying.
Go on, you great blubbering beast. Shoo!
Such grace there, Mimir.
Not moving.
It has grown accustomed to its chains.
No. No, we can fix this. We just need to chase it off and scare it. Something.
There is no making things right. Only better than they were.
It's sad.
Yeah,
It's the wind blowing on.
that is a raw line, by the way.
I can feel it.
May provide some comfort.
That's not enough.
It seldom is.
Like all the lines in this game are just great.
There's no one doing what has been done, only making it better.
Now, there's a reason I wanted to do this quest.
You know what it reminds me of? One of the few good episodes of the 11th Doctor, the space whale.
Alright, so this is the reason. It appears that Mimir has enacted many cruelties here in Svartalheim, none more reprehensible than chaining this creature and harvesting its fat for oil. To perform an act so heartless and so put it out of and to put it out of one's mind, to never speak of it, it reminds me of a boat captain I wronged long ago. He too was robbed of his freedom and suffered because of who I was and the choices I made. Perhaps there is a measure of monster inside us all.
He's talking about the captain that he let get eaten by the Hydra because for the sake of a key, and then pushed out of and they kicked down the kicked off the rope to hell in
Yep.
the underworlds.
Yeah, he kicked him right off the bone thing. Yep.
What other two
Yeah.
have Odin and Thor done?
Because the captain was like, "Oh no, not you again."
The stonemason.
And then in God of War 2, and then in God of War 3.
Find him, found Thor instead.
I don't
And who's
remember
found more sons?
him in
Grimthor.
2 and 3.
In God of War 2, he comes back as a boss fight.
Before his big
Oh, nice.
Correction, he comes back as the minion in a boss fight where he gets humiliated again.
Oh, was it the boss fight against the Barbarian King?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I remember now.
In the third game, he comes back. Let me just pause. In the third game, he comes back as a letter that you can find in the underworld where he complains about like how the ghosts of Sparta screwed him over.
Yeah.
He gets no mention in God of War Chains of Olympus or Ghosts of Sparta, but he does in Ascension, where you can find his shipwreck as a collectible.
Nice. It makes sense that he's not in Ghosts of Sparta, considering that game happens before
After he
Kratos meets
dies.
him.
Chain of
What?
Olympus happens before he dies.
Oh, okay. All right.
He doesn't appear in God of War 2018, but he does get mentioned because one of the boats in the Lake of the Nine was his. One of the shipwrecks.
Just keeps coming back.
Keeps coming back, and I'm so glad he does.
He's such an iconic character.
We all seemed dead when we finally made it there.
That remains a mystery. Though admittedly, it sounds like the Aesir god's dream.
What about Fjorgen? Thor's mother was a giant, wasn't she?
Indeed she was. The circumstances of her demise were murky at best. But not sure I can blame Odin for that one. He wasn't the same after.
Oh, I know. There was Gavi, queen of the hunt.
Aye, she spurned Odin's affections, so he tricked her into killing her father.
There was Starkather the Mighty, the Jotnar military leader.
Slandered by Odin, tricked and murdered by Thor.
So, fun fact on the Scotty one.
Yeah.
While the murder of the father thing is accurate, she later marries Loki. Basically, she shows up at Asgard threatening to kill everybody, and then Loki's like, what if we start dating? And she's like, yeah, okay, that might work.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, I'm back.
And there was Thrym the Cunning.
And
giant
you
king who
see,
stole Thor's hammer.
somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful.
Is that just what you were doing the entire stream while waiting for me to get back?
No, I was completely silent until you got back, and then I started singing.
Murdered by Thor.
Why?
Enough of this.
But there's more.
Well, to be fair, I thought you paused the recording until you got back.
I don't pause recordings.
You should.
I don't remember where the button is for that.
It's the button on the directly on the side, or to the right of the start recording or stop recording or whatever.
Not there. We'll deal with that later.
Oh, you have a different video processing setting then.
Yeah, probably.
Like a nerd.
Mimir, what do you think it means? Seeing more raiders coming
How long
in.
we been going?
We are an hour 40 in.
The queen was supposed to restore balance to
Nice.
the realm.
I don't think we're rescuing
What happened?
rescuing Tyr this stream,
Lad, and a troubling one. If hell
but
Probably
we can
not.
start it.
It suggests that something's been hindering Sigrun's efforts. Or perhaps something even more urgent is keeping her distracted. And unable to visit.
God, I love Mimir.
Yeah.
Oh, Mimir's great.
Sorry, Mimir.
Oh yeah.
We're looking for Derlin?
Ominous.
You have an appointment?
No?
That's
Has anyone ever had an appointment here?
Here to collect on something, pal. Think parading a severed head around on your hip is gonna scare me into somehow approving estrogen secretion proposal, eh?
We are not a prisoner of Odin's.
He's being kept in a mine somewhere. Some friends of ours said that you could help.
Where did you get?
Oh, he sees the axe.
Yeah.
You chop her head off with that too, eh?
She was my wife.
He's putting the pieces together. Oh, it's just
Dinner and
an octopus.
wondered where she went after our little coup here failed.
Failed?
Is dead.
Rest of them are.
The mocapping in this game is just great.
Oh yeah,
Right across.
especially the facial
I'm afraid I can't
expressions.
help you with your little prisoner situation.
But he could have answers on how to stop Odin. And free Svartalfheim from the Aesir.
I'm not in the business of crossing the old father anymore. Right, before you go. Take this.
What is it?
A fine. Hygiene code violation for improper transport of a rotting head. 2 demerits for speaking the All-Father's given name, and, for fucking up my desk!
A fine?
Pay it at your leisure, okay?
Clever,
Got it.
clever.
You know who this guy reminds me of? He
Who?
reminds me. He reminds me of the warden from The Mummy.
Hey there.
So, what about get out of my office? Don't you understand?
How
You
do I
said her
leave?
name was Diener? Oh, sure. Thank you. I think.
God, The Mummy was such a good movie.
The Mummy is a good film.
Yeah, I still need to see The Whale.
Hey, this says
I should binge watch.
Oh, it's not a fine.
It's a map, isn't it?
Potentially.
Also, there's a thing you can shoot to your left.
Potentially.
I like The Mummy Returns.
It's a very hokey movie.
Yeah, and that's why I like it. The first one was also hokey.
That's fair.
Brendan Fraser's great.
I think I prefer the first one to The Mummy Returns, but like The Mummy
That's
Returns
fair.
is not bad.
Yeah. They're both really. That's like trying to compare Shrek 1 and Shrek 4. Like both are really good, and it's hard to say. Unfortunately, The Mummy doesn't have a
A
third.
Shrek 4.
It doesn't have a Shrek 2. You know, something that rises above the something that is the peak.
That's fair.
And we don't talk about Shrek 3.
Just like we don't talk about the movie with Jet Li, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the one that fucked up his back.
Yep. Yep, it did, and it wasn't even that good.
That's fair.
Did you ever see The Scorpion King? It was the spin-off movie about the Rock's character in the Mummy franchise. It was his origin story. I've seen it, but that was at like 2001, 2002.
Yeah, it's a old film. It was like The
Yeah.
Rock's big acting break, wasn't it?
I think so. Because he was a wrestler in the 90s. And then he was cast as the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns, and that was such a big hit that it had a spin-off series just about him.
I think Derlin wrote down directions.
That's fair.
Has given us a map.
Sort of.
Mind you, I will say this. The fact that The Rock apparently hates to lose in movies, so he's always trying to find reasons why he always wins, can get a bit annoying.
Yeah.
Like, apparently it's an issue for, like, some writers, because it's like, yeah, he hates to lose, so, like, every time we write him into a film includes him as an actor, we have to, like, always make sure his character comes off really good and everything. Which, I mean, fair enough. Some actors have their own things, like, don't get me started on Johnny Depp.
Yeah. So, yeah, most of the stuff he was in prior to The Mummy Returns was wrestling related.
Oh, you ready for a... Ooh, wait a minute.
Yeah, Scorpion King was 2002. Oh, he was still wrestling up until 2003.
That had, like, several sequels, I think. None of them had The Rock in it, but they had sequels. Alright.
Okay,
We got a mountain ride.
awesome.
Oh, shoot.
So yeah, I think Mummy Returns was his big break in regards to acting, but he still did. He was still primarily.
I'll tell you. Just
I guess Doom was probably his big break, actually, even though that movie wasn't that good. It was yet another really shitty video game movie.
Swift and enduring retribution.
he is a captain of Odin.
Aye, and the bearer of Gjallarhorn. True believer, that one. There are few things so dangerous in a man as lack of doubt.
Oh god, do you remember Tooth Fairy?
Seems like we're here. Come on.
The Rock film?
Yeah,
This way.
I'm on his
See another
IMDb.
train. Let's look for
Oh
Ragnarok
god, I
later.
completely forgot that one existed. But yeah, I remember it.
You know,
Was that the one where
seems like Odin really
his character's daughter had a
tears free.
peanut allergy?
Right out of the sky!
Nothing to worry about.
Woo!
If that is his war to fight, he may have it.
Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high.
Yeah, I can't get rid of
Oh,
that.
by the way, did you hear? Uh, the Did you hear that LeVar Burton is doing sponsoring a thing uh, showcasing banned books, like advertising banned books, to encourage people to read them
May need some special equipment to use.
in direct response to all the book bans that are going across the country. He's encouraging people to read banned books. And he's got that clout because he's reading fucking Rainbow.
Fair enough.
Uh,
Uh-oh. What's that?
Whoa,
that looks like the face of a
what happened here?
titan.
Use caution.
I think it's dead.
Oh, you mean that?
Yep, definitely dead.
It's an alligator.
Hey, I wonder if.
I hate these fuckers.
Rip. I think they're cute.
I love their designs. Absolutely.
I would want one as a pet.
They're annoying because they're like pretty decent boss fights.
And they just show up too often.
Not too often, but enough that it's like there's an entire section later in the game in which you have to fight like a dozen of them at a time.
Oh, gross. Yeah, no, it definitely seems like the one where, like, is the kind of boss where, like...
Oh, and
The
it's
maxi-
optional, by the way. Just before you think that was a spoiler.
I think for bosses like this, I think it'd be the kind that you'd want to, like, do it once, and then further down the line, have two of them at the same time, but just leave it at that.
You fight a few more Drekkies. They usually throw in like a gimmick or two with each new fight, but they do crop up quite often.
They do like boss fights that are just two stronger versions of a previous boss fight.
Nice.
That one was tough.
Stay on your guard. There could be others around.
Think that Drekius will kill the first one we found?
If so, it was their aggression that got them both killed.
Oh, sweet.
You know what I should watch again?
What?
The Mask.
That's a good film. You know, I started watching it recently.
But
The Cable Guy.
I can see a mine.
hell yeah!
Maybe what Dylan was talking about.
Tracks up on the
It's a
left.
really good one.
Maybe another train we can take.
You haven't seen it before, have you?
No, I watched. I didn't get too far. Mostly because like
Is not the
setting up the stream and stuff took a while.
Yeah.
But I got to the basketball scene.
Oh, I love the basketball scene.
We're trying
Yeah, you see what I mean though when I said that it's
war.
a psychological horror.
Oh, it absolutely is a horror film.
Yeah, it's a psychological horror comedy.
This seems important.
Forge ahead.
Oh yeah.
Unintended, I imagine.
Well, I can't move ahead, so
Cable Guy is where the phrase "dry land is not a myth, I've seen it" comes from. It was never actually said in Waterworld. It was said in Cable Guy.
I will say this: the scene in which Matthew Broderick as Steve, actually now that I'm saying that out loud, I know why you like the movie so much. It has Matthew Broderick being tormented.
And also Jim Carrey being peak Jim Carrey.
Oh, he's a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the only Matthew Broderick film that I can stand that isn't animated.
That's fair. He was Simba.
Yeah, that's why I said isn't animated.
Oh my god. So one of like the big smoking guns in the is Lion King a ripoff of Kimba the White Lion is that Matthew Broderick doesn't know his Kimbas from his Simbas. He did like an interview. He's like, "Yeah, I play Kimba, you know, the white lion from the cartoon," because the dude didn't even bother reading the script they sent him.
Jesus.
uh, and it's like, no, Matthew Broderick not knowing what he's talking about is not a smoking gun, people. That's just most
Yeah, no.
celebrities.
Yeah. God, I really, really hate how Marvel treats its actors. Or how Disney treats the Marvel actors.
Aren't they
You
like
know. Uh,
forced to sign like really long-term contracts?
yeah, and also, like, in terms of script reading, you saw the, who's the actor who plays Falcon? I can never remember his name.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, yeah. You heard him talking in an interview about what it's like to read the scripts and just how fucking dystopian it is, where an intern
Like to go left.
delivers him the script and watches him read it, and then
I meant mine.
uh, he has to give it back to the intern. It's only for like, it's not like the full script. It's just scene by scene by scene, uh,
We're so close.
and
Just a little to the left.
he's being rushed to read it because
Yeah.
the intern's gotta give it to the others,
Round two.
and he's not allowed to keep the script, to practice. He's got to memorize it all in one.
Yeah,
It is
unfortunately,
awful.
I cannot agree with that as like a method that is terrible. But like I get why they do it that way.
Gave you a stone.
I mean, it's terrible they do it that way, but I get why. I don't agree with it either way.
Yeah, no, I think so. If and a big issue is the way movies are being made.
Came here looking for Tyr
Yeah,
because
they're currently being made to only be watched once, and that's why it's so obsessed with keeping the public in the dark about any potential twists and shit. Because the best twists are the ones that increase the rewatchability.
That's fair. I think another issue is that the way a lot of these movies are being filmed is an issue too.
Yeah, hopefully the Actors Guild is able to fix some of the
Oh,
problems
oh,
because
that
there's
that
still.
that that's painful. I
Ooh,
just shoved its head into a gear.
yeah, that's always one of my biggest fears
Oh,
is being
digits
knocked
lodged
back
in a
into.
gear.
Yeah, as it's spinning.
Oh, that's satisfying.
Oh yeah,
All the trouble those idiots put me through in like God of
2018.
War 2018. Yeah.
Yeah, Data Boy 1.
All right, so it is currently 1:58.
Let's finish this fight and then we can call it.
Okay.
I am running on empty.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Admittedly, like this game is a lot easier to play than it is to talk about. Because you really want to give it time to breathe, you know?
yeah, but that'd be so much. That'd be like way too fucking quiet.
Yeah, then you just be like completely silent.
Yeah. So the best twists are the ones that increase rewatchability. If
M. Night
knowing a twist
Shyamalan got it right the first time.
and then no other time after that.
I don't know. I kind of liked some of the twists in Invincible.
Eh.
Oh, is it
The
Unstoppable? It's something. It's one of those words that where like you can't stop or something. You're invincible. No, it's not invincible. It's unstoppable. It's something.
I think it's Invincible.
No, Invincible is the cartoon.
Oh.
No, it's something. I give up. But you
Uh,
know what I'm referring to, the one with Bruce Willis.
yeah, the Bruce Willis M. Night Shyamalan film. Everyone knows exactly the one you're talking about.
The fact that Bruce Willis keeps returning to do movies with that guy is probably a tell that at least he's doing something right as a director.
Yeah. Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, that was a okay.
Staring at the blank page before. Wait. Shit, no, That's Unwritten that I was singing. Fuck. Uh, yeah, no, Unbreakable is the one. Look, sometimes directors have their faves. Like Tim Burton, his fave is Johnny Depp.
That's fair.
That's why Johnny Depp is in pretty much every Tim Burton film.
And his ex-wife.
I don't think he's been putting his ex-wife in movies since the divorce.
That's fair. But before she was his ex.
Yeah, when the divorce was going on, like one of the jokes people were making was like, "Well, who's gonna get custody of Johnny Depp?"
All right.
Uh,
So I think this is where I can call it.
all right. Thank you everybody for watching. This has been this episode of Data Boy 2, The Daddening. Uh, there's other stuff on the channel that you can check out.
Yep.
Our friend Biddy recently finished the Oracle of Ages playthrough. Biddy, Scraps, and I are playing Super Mario 3D World,
That
which,
should be ending by the time this video goes up on Silver's channel.
yeah, it should be, the finale should be up. There is a couple tabletop RPGs going on, one of which is called System Wasteland, where a bunch of aliens turn the world into a JRPG. And then there's The World That Appear, which is a homebrew D&D 5e campaign that I run, where the players are stuck in a time loop. Uh, and finally, there's Tabletop Thursdays, where every Thursday, uh, Tabletop Simulator is played. So, lots of stuff to watch.
Anything else? We got a question for the audience.
Comment challenge of the day: favorite Jim Carrey movie.
I was gonna say, what boss fight?
Oh,
What boss fight made you feel like Kratos killing that troll?
one that's just a curb stomp.
One that's just obnoxious.
Oh, one that's just annoying.
Yeah. What's your obnoxious boss fight that you got really sick
Uh,
of?
just tired of it. I'd say probably the Demon Fire Sage.
That's fair.
Like, or I get okay. The Asylum Demon in general, all of its extensions. So that includes the Lesser Erd trees, you know, uh, or the Erd tree avatars, whatever the fuck they're called. That includes the Stray Demon. That includes the Demon Fire Sage. Just that boss type, I'm just tired of.
I get you. My least favorite boss fight, the one that I got really tired of was, well, the trolls from God of War are obvious.
Bizro in Majora's Mask is a close second for me.
This isn't a boss fight, but the Wolf Link battles in Twilight Princess were kind of obnoxious.
The Shadow Beasts,
Yeah,
that's fair.
they don't really evolve as a concept and just kind of just drag
Yeah,
on
no,
forever.
the only way the fights evolve is by making the actual fight area a bit more labyrinthian, so you have to put in a little more effort into getting them grouped together.
Yeah, which is not fun.
Yeah.
All right. So we're good?
Yeah, with that out of the way, there's no left step. Good night, everybody.
Good night, every god of war.